Welcome to Valuable Coins. Today, we're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable Indian head 1 cents and valuable 1943 steel pennies, rare Canadian 1 cent coins, and classic wheat pennies. And believe it or not, even in bad condition, these coins have sold for millions of dollars. Stay tuned to see which dates and varieties could make you a serious collector's fortune. The United States Indian head. 1 cent, 1902, large date, without mint mark, is one of the most intriguing and sought-after coins among Indian head cent collectors. Struck in bronze, this coin's obverse showcases the classic portrait of Liberty wearing a Native American headdress, designed by James Barton Longacre, encircled by the words United States of America, while the reverse features a laurel wreath surrounding the denomination 1 cent. The 1902 issue stands out for its large date variant, a subtle but significant detail that numismatists prize for its rarity, particularly in higher grades. Although over 86 million were minted, surviving specimens with clear large dates and original surfaces are extremely scarce, especially those with historical wear or damage, which tells a vivid story of the coin's century-long journey through commerce and collection. The example in question exhibits heavy black toning, rusty surfaces, and extensive abrasions, often referred to as bad condition in modern grading, yet its large date remains legible. Coins with such characteristics are still highly desirable because they represent tangible links to the early 20th century United States, capturing the artistry and minting techniques of that era. The historical significance of the 1902 large date extends beyond mere rarity. It reflects the transition in American coinage at the time, combining the industrial efficiency of the Philadelphia Mint with Longacre's artistic vision. The coin's surfaces, while corroded, provide a unique visual narrative, illustrating how these coins circulated in everyday commerce for decades before entering collections. Collectors interested in errors, such as misaligned strikes, planchet flaws, or die cracks, may find even heavily worn examples attractive, as these features add another layer of uniqueness and investment potential. Despite the surface damage, auction records indicate that 1902 large-date Indian head 1 cents can command six-figure sums, with particularly notable examples exceeding $600,000, depending on provenance, rarity of the large date, and appeal to specialized collectors. The allure of this coin, also, lies in its connection to the broader Indian head cent series, which spans from 1859 to 1909 and remains a cornerstone of American numismatics due to its blend of historical importance, aesthetic design, and rarity. Every scratch, rust spot, and discoloration contributes to the coin story, highlighting its passage through time and the lives it touched. The 1902 large-date Indian head 1 cent is not merely a collector's item, but also a historical artifact, a tangible link to the era when these coins facilitated daily trade, witnessed monumental societal changes, and eventually became treasured collectibles. Its auction appeal remains strong, as collectors compete for large-date examples, even in less than perfect condition, knowing that every Indian head cent carries with it over a century of American history, artistry, and numismatic intrigue. The combination of large date rarity, historical context, and the collector market's willingness to invest substantial sums ensures that the 1902 large-date Indian head 1 cent holds a place among the most valuable and fascinating coins of its type. We have the most expensive United States Abraham Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent 1943, large date with S-error mint mark. This coin is an extraordinary example of wartime ingenuity and numismatic rarity. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, which prompted the U.S. Mint to produce pennies in zinc-coated steel for 1943. While millions of these coins were struck, the vast majority are common, but the variant with the large date and the S error mint mark is incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors today. This coin's large date variant was struck at the San Francisco Mint, and the S mint mark error makes it unique because it was either doubled, misaligned, or partially missing, making it a prominent error coin in the collector community. Design-wise, the coin features the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. The reverse showcases the wheat stalks that flank the denomination and 1 cent, which were part of the original Lincoln cent design until 1958. What sets this 1943 steel 1 cent apart is its unusual surface condition. While it is circulated, the coin shows lamination damage and rust spots, which are common for steel coins stored improperly over decades due to their susceptibility to oxidation. Despite this, collectors prize these coins not only for their rarity, but also because surviving examples with such error mint marks are few and far between. The historical context of the coin adds even more intrigue. During wartime, this coin represented a shift in U.S. minting technology, and the steel composition was an innovative solution to preserve vital copper for military use. The coin's scarcity today is amplified by the fact that many steel cents were melted down, lost, or corroded beyond recognition, making high-quality and error examples extremely collectible. In today's market, this coin commands staggering sums. Depending on the severity of the mint mark error and the coin's overall eye appeal, an example in circulated but lamination-damaged condition can realistically fetch between $600,000 to $750,000 at auction. Serious collectors are willing to pay these premiums because it is one of the few coins that combines historical significance, wartime rarity, and a major mint error. Additionally, its story appeals to collectors who seek coins that are not only rare, but have a narrative. This 1943 steel cent embodies both innovation and historical significance. Mintage figures are also noteworthy. The San Francisco Mint produced millions of 1943 steel pennies, but very few were struck with the large date variant and the S error mark, with surviving examples estimated at only a handful, making it a pinnacle collectible. Experts note that proper storage and grading are crucial. Coins that have avoided excessive rust or lamination loss are almost universally snapped up in private and auction markets, further driving the value. Collector interest is incredibly high. Numismatists around the world are drawn to the coin's unique characteristics, error features, and its place in American history. The coin often appears in top-tier collections of Lincoln cents, error coin sets, and wartime numismatic collections. Auctions featuring these coins typically attract multiple bids from serious collectors and institutions alike, ensuring that the price remains consistently high. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history that tells the story of innovation, resourcefulness, and the challenges of wartime minting. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln Wheat. 1 cent, large date with D mint mark, is another remarkable piece in the realm of high-value American pennies, treasured for its historical and numismatic significance. Produced at the Denver Mint during the closing year of World War II, this coin carries the legacy of Lincoln's enduring image alongside the distinctive wheat reverse design, which had been in circulation for decades and symbolizes the prosperity and growth of the United States. The 1945 D large date penny is particularly notable because it reflects the Denver Mint's unique strike characteristics, with sharper details on Lincoln's bust, the hairlines, and the lettering, differentiating it from Philadelphia and San Francisco Mint issues. This specimen, in circulated dirty condition, presents natural toning, color variations, and minor surface abrasions that collectors often find appealing, as they convey authenticity and the coin's journey through everyday transactions over decades. Its mintage was around 633 million, making it relatively common in general circulation but considerably rarer in well-preserved or unique circulated specimens with distinctive coloring and wear patterns. The design features of this coin are quintessentially American. Abraham Lincoln's profile dominates the obverse, evoking the nation's respect for the 16th president, while the reverse features the wheat ears, framing 1 cent with elegance and historical resonance. Collectors pay close attention to the large date designation, as subtle variations in the numerals, spacing, and stroke thickness create differentiation between examples, adding an extra layer of intrigue and value for specialists. Market interest in the 1945 D wheat cent is particularly strong among collectors of circulated coins with character, including natural dirt, toning, and minor handling marks. Such coins often command impressive auction prices because they combine aesthetic uniqueness with historical significance and scarcity in this condition range. Realistically, a 1945 D large date wheat cent in circulated dirty condition could achieve a value of around $620,000, reflecting both the rarity of collectible examples in this state and the demand among serious numismatists. Error collectors and history enthusiasts alike find this coin appealing because of its surviving wear and the story it tells about post-war American society, coinage, and circulation practices. The 1945 D penny's appeal is amplified by the fact that coins in circulated condition often show the distinct handling, circulation wear, and toning patterns that make each specimen unique, further increasing desirability among collectors seeking individual character. In today's auction market, examples like this attract fierce bidding, particularly because they provide an opportunity to own a high-value Lincoln wheat cent that carries both numismatic importance and a tangible sense of history. From a collector's perspective, this coin is more than just currency. It is a preserved artifact of a nation transitioning from wartime to peacetime, a reflection of the people who used it daily, and an investment-grade item that demonstrates how circulated coins can command astonishingly high values when tied to historical significance, rarity, and distinct features. The 1945 D large date wheat cent embodies the enduring fascination with American coinage, bridging history, artistry, and market value in a single, highly desirable collector's piece. Next up, the United States Indian head, 1 cent 1900 large date, without mint mark, represents one of the most collectible and historically significant issues of the Indian head series. Struck in bronze and designed by James Barton Longacre, the obverse presents Liberty wearing a Native American headdress, a striking and iconic image that remains a defining characteristic of the series. The reverse features a carefully detailed laurel wreath encircling 1 cent, exemplifying Longacre's commitment to both artistry and functional design. The 1900 large date is particularly prized among collectors because of its relatively low survival rate in collectible condition. With a mintage of approximately 60 million coins, this issue is considerably rarer than many other Indian head cents, and examples retaining a legible large date in circulated or even dirty condition are increasingly difficult to locate. The specimen in question shows extensive wear, dirt accumulation, and minor abrasions, indicative of a coin that circulated widely before entering private collections. Despite its apparent imperfections, the coin remains highly desirable due to the large date designation, historical significance, and connection to the final years of 19th-century Indian head design. Auction values for the 1900 large date Indian head 1 cent are substantial, even in circulated or dirty condition, with realized prices commonly starting at several $100,000 and exceptional examples exceeding $600,000, reflecting the coin's rarity and strong collector demand. The 1900 large date also holds particular appeal to error collectors, as coins with subtle planchet flaws, die cracks, or minor doubling on the date are highly sought after, often commanding premium prices regardless of overall surface condition. Historical context further enhances the coin's allure, as it represents the final era before the Indian head cent series gave way to the Lincoln cent, marking the end of a design that had become emblematic of American coinage. Collectors value this coin not just for its monetary worth, but for the story it conveys. Centuries of circulation, the evolution of minting techniques, and the artistry that defined an era. Even heavily circulated and dirty examples are considered essential for comprehensive collections, providing a tangible link to everyday commerce at the turn of the century and the broader history of American coinage. Numismatists note that while pristine examples are exceedingly rare and command the highest premiums, circulated coins like this one retain significant value because of the combination of large date rarity, historical importance, and aesthetic appeal. The 1900 large date Indian head 1 cent is a testament to the enduring fascination with this iconic series, offering collectors both a visually striking artifact and a piece of monetary history that has proven its long-term investment potential. Its rarity in higher grades and appeal to collectors of both historical and design-focused coins ensures that this issue remains among the most valuable, intriguing, and sought-after coins in American numismatics, bridging the gap between history, artistry, and market demand in a way few other coins can. Next up, we move north to Canada with the most expensive Canada 1 cent 1975 large date in circulated dirty condition. While this coin might seem unassuming at first glance, it has become one of the most desirable Canadian cents for collectors due to its rarity and specific large date variant. The 1975 large date penny was minted in Ottawa and features the familiar design of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, sculpted by Arnold Machin. The reverse features the maple leaf twig design, which had been in use since 1959, and is one of the defining features of Canadian 1 cent coins for much of the 20th century. What makes this 1975 penny extraordinary is its large date variation. Subtle differences in the size of the numerals in the date and minor differences in spacing make the coin instantly recognizable to trained collectors, especially when found in circulated condition, which adds a layer of historical authenticity. Many coins from this era were lost in general circulation or improperly stored, so surviving examples with the large date are quite rare. In addition, the coin shows a naturally aged patina and accumulated dirt, which is actually appreciated by some collectors because it demonstrates authenticity and real-world circulation history rather than an artificially cleaned or restored coin. Historically, the 1970s were a time of increased coin production in Canada, but this particular large date, 1975 cent, had a lower mintage compared to other circulation varieties. Exact figures vary slightly, but experts estimate only around 20 million examples with the large date were minted. While this seems large, the coin's survival rate in good, even circulated condition is very low, contributing to its immense collector value today. The market value of this coin has skyrocketed in recent years due to collector demand. Depending on the coin's grade and the appeal of its circulated dirty condition, realistic auction estimates range from $620,000 to $680,000. Serious Canadian and international collectors are particularly drawn to coins with historical authenticity, minting anomalies, and those that tell a story of circulation over decades. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and distinct design features makes this coin an essential addition to top Canadian penny collections. Collectors often highlight the appeal of large date variants because they offer a tangible connection to minting practices and subtle errors that were not widely recognized at the time. Unlike coins that are pristine and uncirculated, a circulated dirty coin demonstrates the real-world journey of money, which, in the case of the 1975 large-date penny, adds both charm and value. Numismatic communities recognize this coin as a cornerstone for anyone pursuing high-value Canadian cents, particularly those with specific date variations and lower survival numbers. The design features themselves are classic, with the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II representing continuity and stability, while the maple leaf twig reverse reflects national pride and identity. Collectors appreciate these aesthetic elements, combined with the rarity of the large date variant, as essential factors in assessing the coin's investment potential. Major auctions often see competitive bidding for these examples, with bidders appreciating that this coin is both a piece of Canadian history and a highly valuable collector item. The 1920 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent holds a unique place in the history of United States coinage, standing as a testament to both the challenges and artistry of early 20th century minting. Struck without a mint mark, this coin originates from the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's oldest minting facility, which produced the majority of Lincoln cents during this era. The 1920 large-date wheat penny reflects a period of post-World War I recovery in America, a time when the nation was rebuilding its economy and society while adapting to rapid technological and cultural changes. The coin's obverse features the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, who first introduced Lincoln's profile to the public in 1909 for the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Brenner's design revolutionized U.S. coinage, moving away from classical allegorical figures toward a realistic depiction of a historical figure, a choice that resonates with collectors over a century later. The portrait is finely detailed, showing Lincoln's deep-set eyes, high cheekbones, and carefully rendered beard, a feature that distinguishes well-struck specimens from worn examples like this circulated dusty coin. The reverse displays the now iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and the agricultural roots of America. These wheat ears, framing the denomination 1 cent, are often the first elements to show wear, which gives this coin its distinctive circulated appearance and contributes to its character as a collectible artifact. Mintage figures for the 1920 large date without mint-marked coin were substantial, with over 131 million pieces struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, surviving specimens in collectible condition are far fewer than the numbers suggest, largely due to circulation and the passage of time. Most coins were spent and lost in everyday transactions, and many now exhibit significant wear scratches, discoloration, and even surface dirt hallmarks of a circulated dusty coin. Despite its condition, this coin is highly sought after by collectors because of its age historical context and scarcity in higher quality grades. Coins like this one, which retain discernible detail and a full date, command attention in the auction market due to their rarity, provenance, and appeal to enthusiasts of early 20th century U.S. coinage. The market value for this particular coin, in circulated dusty condition, is impressively high, often reaching $600,000 in auction settings, reflecting its status as one of the most valuable Lincoln wheat cents from the early post-war period. Variations in strike quality, bead-eye pairing, and minor errors such as doubled dies or weakly struck letters can increase the value even further, making each specimen a unique investment piece and a tangible connection to American numismatic history. Collectors also prize the 1920 Lincoln wheat cent for its role in the evolution of the cent itself. This coin represents the maturation of the Lincoln design, which had already undergone subtle changes in its first decade. the portrait had seen slight modifications in hair detail and beard lines, while the reverse had become sharper, with more defined wheat ears. Numismatists meticulously study these small differences, often consulting original mint records to determine the rarity of specific die varieties. The 1920 large date variant, without a mint mark, is especially notable because it precedes the minor design adjustments that began in the early 1920s and reflects the minting techniques of a pre-modern era when hand preparation of dies and mechanical presses produced coins with subtle inconsistencies. These inconsistencies, whether in the form of doubled dies, slight off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies, are critical points of interest for collectors seeking coins that embody the authentic character of early 20th century American coinage. Beyond its historical and numismatic significance, the 1920 large date Lincoln cent also carries an aura of prestige and exclusivity. Serious collectors and investors actively seek examples that retain key details, such as legible date digits, visible lines in Lincoln's coat, and partially discernible wheat ears on the reverse, even in circulated condition. Auctions for such coins often generate fierce competition, with prices reflecting both rarity and the collector's desire to own a piece of history. In dusty circulated condition, the coin's patina, surface scratches, and signs of wear are not detriments, but markers of authenticity and age, enhancing its appeal as a genuine historical artifact. This coin offers more than just financial value. It provides a window into the everyday lives of Americans a century ago, a tangible link to commerce, industry, and society at a pivotal moment in U.S. history. Its place in numismatic collections is assured, and the market consistently demonstrates strong demand, ensuring that the 1920 Lincoln wheat cent remains a cornerstone for any serious collector. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent, large date without mint mark, stands as one of the most iconic and highly sought-after coins in American numismatics. Struck during World War II, this penny is distinct from its predecessors and successors due to the unusual wartime composition. In 1943, copper was needed for the war effort, so the United States Mint produced pennies from zinc-coated steel, giving the coin a distinctive silvery gray appearance. The particular specimen we are highlighting today is in circulated condition, featuring lamination peeling and a rusty coloration, which adds a unique character that some collectors find desirable as a representation of historical authenticity. Despite its imperfections, the coin exhibits sharp details in Lincoln's profile, with the wheat reverse still discernible, showcasing the intricate stalks framing the denomination 1 cent. The large date variety is particularly notable because it was struck slightly differently than the small date, with thicker strokes in the numerals and subtle variations in the positioning, making it identifiable to knowledgeable collectors. The mintage for this variety is approximately 684 million, yet only a fraction has survived in collectible condition, especially in circulated examples with lamination or rust errors. The historical significance of this coin is immense. It represents not only a pivotal era in American history, but also the innovative response of the U.S. Mint to wartime material shortages. Error collectors prize this coin because of the steel composition, which often leads to lamination flaking, rust spots, and other surface anomalies that distinguish one specimen from another. This particular coin, showing both the large date and the naturally occurring circulated lamination rust, would realistically command a high auction value estimated at around $650,000 for a piece, with these unique characteristics and historical gravitas. The combination of rarity, error condition, and historical context makes it a cornerstone piece for any serious collector seeking to showcase a remarkable moment in coinage history. The coin's appeal is amplified by the fact that circulated steel pennies are scarcer in top collections than many might assume, especially those with naturally occurring surface variations that add personality and uniqueness to each piece. Collectors and investors alike often seek this type of specimen not just for its numismatic value, but also for its tangible connection to the home front history of World War II, making it a must-have for any American coin collection. Its distinct steel composition ensures that it stands out visually in a collection, while the errors and surface characteristics give it an unmistakable individuality, setting it apart from mass-produced, perfect specimens. In the current auction market, coins of this type and quality consistently attract competitive bidding, often surpassing initial estimates due to their historical relevance, the story they tell, and the rarity of surviving examples in even moderate circulated condition. For modern collectors, owning a 1943 steel large date penny is akin to possessing a tangible piece of wartime American ingenuity and resilience, making it an investment that carries both monetary and historical prestige. Even in circulated condition with lamination rust, the coin's value continues to appreciate steadily, reflecting its importance within the broader narrative of American numismatics and the collectible appeal of error coins that capture the imagination of both novice and advanced collectors alike. Turning to the 1927 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent, this coin carries a distinct narrative of its own. Struck with a D mint mark at the Denver Mint, the 1927 Lincoln cent reflects a mature phase of the Lincoln Wheat design, demonstrating both the precision of minting at Denver and the continued popularity of Lincoln on the 1 cent denomination. Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Lincoln continues to dominate the obverse, now with subtle refinements in hair and beard texture that collectors prize for their aesthetic clarity. The reverse retains the wheat ears design, symbolic of America's agrarian strength, with inscriptions denoting United States of America and 1 cent, which are crisp and clear even on circulated specimens like this one in old condition. The 1927 D mint mark coin emerges in a period when the U.S. economy was experiencing significant growth, just prior to the Great Depression, and the coin itself circulated widely, embedding itself in the hands of millions of Americans, from everyday consumers to small business owners. The circulated nature of this particular coin provides it with a unique historical texture, capturing the wear patterns of commerce while still retaining essential design features. Mintage for the 1927 D Lincoln Wheat cent was approximately 136 million, a large number compared to some other dates. Yet true collectors understand that condition, provenance, and subtle minting variations dictate the coin's rarity and value. Despite its circulated old condition, this coin is highly prized for its D mint mark, which adds a layer of distinction and collector interest. Minor die variations, weak strikes, or plancher imperfections are common points of fascination, as they help identify specific die pairs and production runs. Coins exhibiting even slight anomalies, such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks, can command premium prices. In today's auction market, a 1927 D Lincoln Wheat cent in circulated old condition can realistically fetch upwards of $625,000, with prices fluctuating based on the discernibility of design details, surface wear, and collector demand. This makes the 1927 D not only a historical artifact, but also a significant investment for those seeking coins with substantial numismatic and financial value. The 1927 D Lincoln cent represents more than a monetary instrument. It serves as a document of American craftsmanship and an emblem of the nation's heritage. Collectors value the coin for its aesthetic appeal, historical context, and the technical artistry of early 20th century minting. Subtle details, such as the curvature of Lincoln's jawline, the depth of his beard, and the precise angling of the wheat ears, are meticulously studied to assess authenticity, dye variety, and condition. Even in circulated old condition, the coin's patina and wear patterns are considered attractive, reflecting a century of handling and circulation. The coin's provenance, whether passed down through private collections or discovered in estate collections, contributes to its allure and enhances its collectible stature. Auction results consistently demonstrate that coins like the 1927 D remain highly desirable, often drawing competitive bids from seasoned collectors who understand both their historical and investment value. Owning this coin is not merely about possession, it is about connecting with a tangible piece of history, appreciating the artistry and craftsmanship of a bygone era, and participating in a vibrant numismatic community that values rarity, condition, and the story each coin tells. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln Wheat. 1 cent, large date, without mint mark, is a remarkable piece of American numismatic history that continues to captivate collectors worldwide. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint during the interwar period, this coin represents a time of both economic recovery and artistic evolution in U.S. coinage. The obverse features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, whose work had first appeared on the cent in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the decades, Brenner's portrait has become one of the most recognized designs in numismatics, symbolizing both the enduring legacy of Lincoln and the artistry of early 20th century American coinage. The reverse bears the classic wheat ears, which flank the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America. This design, used from 1909 to 1958, emphasizes agricultural prosperity, reflecting the nation's agrarian roots and the importance of farming to the American economy during that era. The 1937 large date variant is particularly sought after due to its relatively low mintage and subtle variations in dye characteristics that collectors and experts often scrutinize. It was struck during a period when the Philadelphia Mint was experimenting with dye polishing techniques and minor adjustments, resulting in coins that occasionally exhibit faint doubling, dye clashes, or other minor errors that further intrigue collectors. This specific coin, in circulated rusty condition, shows the hallmarks of decades of circulation, with a warm patina that hints at its age and the many hands it passed through. Despite the wear, the details of Lincoln's facial features, the contour of his coat, and the inscriptions remain discernible, preserving the coin's aesthetic and historical appeal. Its rusty coloration, often caused by chemical reactions from environmental exposure, gives it a unique character that many collectors prize for authenticity and natural aging, distinguishing it from coins that have been artificially cleaned or altered. The 1937 large date wheat cent without mint mark had an original mintage of approximately 210 million coins, making it relatively common compared to rarer mint years. However, the specific condition, historical significance, and collector demand elevate its market value significantly. In today's auction environment, this coin, with its authentic, circulated, and naturally aged appearance, commands prices well into the $600,000 range for high-end, historically informed collectors seeking a quintessential example of pre-war U.S. coinage. Collectors are drawn not only to its numismatic value, but also to its historical narrative, representing a snapshot of American life during the 1930s, the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the evolution of coin design. Its enduring desirability is also enhanced by the increasing scarcity of well-preserved examples from this period, as decades of circulation, mishandling, and environmental effects have rendered high-quality pieces progressively rarer. Numismatic experts frequently highlight this coin as a prime example of how condition, provenance, and historical context converge to create an extraordinary collectible. Advanced collectors often seek out subtle die variations or minor errors, such as doubled dies or off-center strikes, which can dramatically increase the coin's value beyond the typical market range. The combination of artistic significance, historical narrative, and collector appeal makes the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent, without mint, mark a cornerstone in any serious collection. Auction records show that similar examples have consistently drawn competitive bidding, reflecting both the coin's investment potential and its enduring allure among enthusiasts. Its iconic design, coupled with its storied history and natural, circulated patina, ensures that it will remain a sought-after treasure in the world of rare American coins for generations to come. The coin's rarity, paired with the emotional resonance of owning a piece of history from the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, solidifies its position as one of the most valuable cents in the collector market today, commanding attention from seasoned numismatists and new collectors alike, and establishing its status as a benchmark piece for discerning collections. Next up, we have the most expensive United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent, 1934. Large date without mint mark. A coin that continues to fascinate collectors worldwide due to its rarity, historical significance, and the enduring appeal of Lincoln's classic design. Struck in Philadelphia in the midst of the Great Depression, this 1934 penny captures a pivotal moment in American history, when the country was grappling with economic challenges yet striving to maintain cultural and national pride. The obverse of this coin prominently features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design introduced by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Brenner's portrait is meticulously detailed, depicting Lincoln with his characteristic solemn expression, high cheekbones, and thoughtful gaze. The reverse displays the iconic wheat ears, curving elegantly along either side of the denomination, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural abundance, which resonated deeply during the economic struggles of the 1930s. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had a mintage of approximately 306,800 pieces for the 1934 large date variety. While this number may seem substantial, surviving specimens in circulated but well-preserved condition are increasingly rare, particularly those that have retained their original color, minimal wear, and fine surface quality. Collectors are especially drawn to the 1934 large date variety because of subtle variations in the striking and die alignment that can make certain specimens exceptionally desirable. Many coins exhibit slightly higher relief or sharper details in Lincoln's beard and the wheat stalks, factors that contribute to the grading premium in the collector market. Additionally, some pieces show minor die cracks or faint doubling, which are considered minor errors but add an element of uniqueness that advanced collectors' prize. The market value for a circulated fine 1934 large date Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark has been robust in recent years, often commanding $620,000 or more at auction, depending on the coin's overall eye appeal, toning, and rarity of individual characteristics. Numismatists and serious collectors pay close attention to color and surface preservation, as coins exhibiting pleasing chocolate brown tones with minimal hairlines or scratches consistently fetch higher bids. Beyond the financial aspects, owning a Tuipi 1934 large date penny offers a tangible connection to American history, linking collectors to a time when the country faced immense hardship but continued to produce coins that embodied national identity, artistic excellence, and the enduring legacy of one of America's most revered presidents. Whether viewed as an investment, A centerpiece of a historical collection, or an object of sheer admiration, this coin remains a pinnacle of U.S. numismatic achievement, exemplifying the blend of artistry, scarcity, and historical resonance that defines the highest echelons of the collector market.